Hey, my name is Dylan. I'm going to be looking at our first scene of the movie, 12 Angry Men. And the first scene that we're looking at is very early on in the movie. It's right after all the jurors have heard all the facts and everything from trial. And they're just starting to go back into the jurors' room. And at this point, the trial is making it look like a very obvious guilty verdict, to the point where even all the jurors walking back are kind of chit-chatting, talking about what they're going to do after the trial, talking about go to a baseball game. They're not even thinking that there might be any discussion on whether he's guilty or not. And so throughout the scene, everybody, all the jurors sit at their juror table. They start taking votes. It goes guilty, 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 guilty. And then it gets to juror 8. Now, juror 8, if he would have voted guilty, no one would have batted an eye. The facts were very much pointing guilty. Everybody else had already voted guilty. It would have just made things easier for everybody. But juror 8 isn't entirely convinced, like beyond with a reasonable doubt, that the defendant is guilty. So he decides to stick to his guns and vote not guilty. And everyone else at the jurors table kind of explodes. They're super angry with him. They can't believe he won't just vote guilty. The facts are pointing towards it. They just can't believe it. And in this moment, it would have been really easy for him to just fold to the peer pressure and switch his vote. But he sticks to his guns and he sticks with his not guilty vote. Which our group, we thought that was a very apparent Myers-Briggs personality. We thought it was an ISTJ. And if we dive a little bit deeper into that, if we look at his energy type, while everybody else is chit-chatting and talking, he's kind of sitting in the back, reflecting on everything, quiet to himself. So we thought he was more introverted. And with his information type, as we see throughout the movie, he's very, very detailed, very concrete, very realistic with how he looks at things. So we thought it was a sensing information type. And with his decisions, kind of tying into that, very detail-oriented, he's very logical, very questioning, very reasonable about everything he says. We thought it was a thinking decisions type. And for lifestyle, we thought he was a judging type, because throughout the movie he's very systematic and very methodical with how they do things. He kind of pulls people aside. He makes sure everything's going in an orderly fashion. They look at the case in a very step-by-step fashion. So we thought he was an ISTJ. And because of his personality type, that led him to sticking to his not guilty verdict, which, even though it was super, super unpopular, it kind of sets this tone for the rest of the movie, and it sends us on this journey of questioning what we know and what we kind of assume we know. And without juror 8 resisting all that peer pressure and sticking to his unpopular opinion, this case and the defendant's life, for that point, would have been over without any second thought. So while it may have been inconvenient and very unpopular for him, going against the grain like juror 8 did is often the first step in finding the real truth.